my beautiful lovelies, welcome back. Okay, so now we have my divine beings. I'm going to go ahead and place this down so I'm not straining my wrist. This is the Book of Mormon. This is going to be the first book of Nephi, right? His reign and ministry. So, with this here, this is actually coming from this beautiful, beautiful app. Um, let's see if I can get the name for you real quick. Um, ooh, what is the name of this app? So if you look up, I think it's just Church of Jesus Christ. Let's see, home, personalize your experience. This is a beautiful app. It includes the Bible as well, the Old and the New Testament included in this app. Um, it looks like this. I'm just going to show you what it looks like as an easier. See where it says library right there? And you just look up the Book of Mormon app or Church of Latter-day Saints app or the what you call it, Church of Latter-day Saint app or the Book of Mormon app, and I'm sure it will be the first one up. It's the blue icon with the white robes. So that is wonderful. It's a beautiful, beautiful app. Let me go ahead and continue on here to 1 Nephi, and we are going to begin. This is about the Nephites, right? And his specifically coming from Nephi, it is his reign and ministry. So let us go ahead and begin. And I do have to put this down. So let me put that down. I'm so tempted just to hold it, but I get so entranced. I grip very, very tight. So I need to put this down like this. Okay? Okay. This is an account of Lehi and his wife, Sarai, and his 4 sons being called, beginning at the eldest, Laman, Lemuel, Sam, and Nephi. The Lord warns Lehi to depart out of the land of Jerusalem, because he prophesieth unto the people concerning their iniquity, and they seek to destroy his life. He taketh 3-day journey to the wilderness with his family. Nephi taketh his brethren, and returneth the land of Jerusalem after the record of the Jews, the account of their sufferings. They take the daughters of Ishmael to wife. They take their families and depart into the wilderness. Their sufferings and affliction in the wilderness, the course of their travels. They come to the large waters. Nephi's brethren rebel against him. He confoundeth them and buildeth a ship. They call the name of the place of the bountiful. They cross the large waters into the promised land, and so forth. This is according to the count of Nephi, or in other words, I, Nephi, wrote this record. It says here, Nephi begins the record of his people. Lehi sees in a vision a pillar of fire and reads from a book of prophecy. He praises God, foretells the coming of the Messiah, and prophesies the destruction of Jerusalem. He is persecuted by the Jews. This takes place at around 600 BC. I, Nephi, having been born of goodly parents, therefore I was taught somewhat in all the learning of my father, and having seen many afflictions in the course of my days. Nevertheless, having been highly favored of the Lord in all my days, yea, having a great knowledge and goodness of the mysteries of God, therefore I make a record of my proceedings in my days. Yeah, I make a record in the language of my father, which consists of the learning of the Jews and the language of the Egyptians. And I know that the record which I make is true, and I make it with mine own hands, and I make it according to my knowledge. For it came to pass in the first commencement of the first year of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, my father Lehi having dwelt at Jerusalem in all his days. And then in that same year there came many prophets, prophesying unto the people that they must repent, or the great city of Jerusalem must be destroyed. Wherefore it came to pass that my father Lehi, as he went forth and prayed unto the Lord, yea, even with all of his heart in behalf of his people, and it came to pass as he prayed unto the Lord, there came a pillar of fire, and dwelt upon the rock before him. He saw and heard much, and because of these things which he saw and heard, he did quake and tremble exceedingly. And it came to pass that he returned to his own house at Jerusalem, and he cast himself upon his bed, being overcome with the Spirit and the things at which he had seen. And being thus overcome with the Spirit, he was carried away in a vision, even that he saw the heavens open, and he thought he saw God sitting upon his throne, surrounded with numberless concourses of angels in the altitude, singing and praising their God. And it came to pass that he saw one descending out of the midst of heaven, and he beheld that his luster was above that of the sun at noonday. He also saw the 12 others following him, and their brightness did exceed that of stars in the firmament. And they came down and went forth upon the face of the earth. And the first came and stood before my father, and gave him a book, and bade him that he should read. And it came to pass that as he read, he was filled with the Spirit of the Lord. And he read, saying, Woe, woe unto Jerusalem, for I have seen thine abominations. Yes, and many things did my father read concerning Jerusalem, that it should be destroyed, and the inhabitants thereof, many perish by the sword, and many should be carried away captive into Babylon. And it came to pass that when my father had read and seen many great marvelous things, he did exclaim many things unto the Lord, just as great and marvelous are thy works. O Lord God Almighty, thy throne is high in the heavens, and thy power and goodness and mercy are all over the inhabitations of the earth. And because thou art merciful, thou wilt not suffer those who come unto thee that they shall perish. And after this manner was the language of my father in the praising of his God. For his soul did not rejoice, and his whole heart was filled. And after this manner was the language of my father in the praising of his God. For his soul did rejoice, and his whole heart was filled, because of the things which he had seen, yes, which the Lord had shown unto him. And now I, Nephi, do not make a full account of the things which my father hath written, for he hath written many things which he saw in visions and in dreams. And he also hath written many things which he prophesied and spake unto his children, of which I shall not make a full account. But I shall make an account of my proceedings in my days. Behold, I make an abridgment of the record of my father upon plates which I have made with my own hands. Wherever I have abridged the record of my father, then I will make an account of mine own life. Pause. Hello, my love. Hi. Okay, I love you, baby. I'm live right now, okay?
Okay.
I love you so much. All right, did you talk to your boss?
Yeah, everything is fine, babe.
Okay. You say that, but it's urgent, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Love you so much.
Yeah. Love you too.
Thank you for your patience. Sorry about that. It's always good to answer. It's always good to answer the call. Okay, count their sufferings. I need to vote this record. Mine own father. Okay. We're really breezing through this. Okay. Therefore, I would that ye should know that after the Lord had shown so many marvelous things unto my father Lehi, concerning the destruction of Jerusalem, behold, he went forth among the people and began to prophesy and to declare unto them concerning the things which he had both seen and heard. And it came to pass that the Jews did mock him because of the things which he testified of them. For he truly testified of their wickedness and their abominations. And he testified that the things which he saw and heard, and also the things that he read in the book, manifested plainly of the coming of a Messiah and also the redemption of the world. And when the Jews heard these things, they were angry with him. Yet, even as the prophets of the old, with whom they had cast out and stoned and slain, and they also sought his life, that they may take it away. But behold, I, Nephi, will show you unto the tender mercies of the Lord that, show unto you that the tender mercies of the Lord over all those who but behold, I, Nephi, will show you unto that the tender mercies of the Lord are over all those whom he hath chosen because of their faith, who make them mighty even unto the power of deliverance. Chapter 2. Lehi takes his family into the wilderness by the Red Sea. They leave their property. Lehi offers a sacrifice to the Lord and teaches his sons to keep the commandments. Laman and Lemuel murmur against their father. Nephi is obedient and prays in faith. The Lord speaks to him, and he is chosen to rule over his brethren about 600 BC. For behold, it came to pass that the Lord spake unto my father, yea, even in a dream, he said unto him, Blessed art thou, Lehi, because of the things which thou hast done, and because thou hast been faithful and declared unto his people the things which I commanded to thee. Behold, they seek to take away their life. And it came to pass that the Lord commanded my father, even in a dream, that he should take his family and depart into the wilderness. And it came to pass that he was obedient unto the word of the Lord, wherever he did as the word, therefore he did as the Lord commanded him. And it came to pass that he departed into the wilderness, and he left his house, and the land of his inheritance, and his gold, and his silver, and his precious things, and took nothing with him, save it were his family and provisions and tents, and departed into the wilderness. And he came down by the borders near the shore of the Red Sea, and he traveled the wilderness in the borders which nearer the Red Sea. And he did travel into the wilderness with his family, which consisted of my mother Sarai, my elder brothers, who were Laman, Lemuel, and Sam. And it came to pass that when he had traveled 3 days in the wilderness, he pitched a tent in the valley by the side of a river of water. And it came to pass that he built an altar of stones, and made an offering unto the Lord, and gave thanks unto the Lord our God. And it came to pass that he called the name of the river Laman, and he emptied it into the Red Sea and the valley in the borders near the mouth thereof. And when my father saw that the waters of the river emptied into the fountain of the Red Sea, he spake unto Laman, saying, O that thou mightest be like unto this river, continually running into the fountain of all righteousness. And he also spake he also spake to Lemuel, O that thou mightest be like this valley unto firm and steadfast, and immovable in keeping commandments of the Lord. Now this he spake because of the stiff-neckedness of Laman and Lemuel. For behold, they did murmur in many things against their father, because he was a visionary man, and had led them out of the land of Jerusalem to leave the land of their inheritance, and their gold, and their silver, and their precious things, to perish in the wilderness. And this, they said, he had done because of the foolish imaginations of his heart. And thus Laman and Lemuel, being the eldest, did murmur against their father, and they did murmur because they knew not the dealings of that God who created them. Neither did they believe that Jerusalem, that the great city, could be destroyed according to the words of the prophets. And they were like unto the Jews who were at Jerusalem, who sought to take away the life of my father. And it came to pass that my father did speak unto them in the valley of Lemuel, with the power, being filled with the Spirit, until their frames did shake before him. And he did confound them, that the dust not utter against him, where they did as he commanded them. as my father dwelt in a tent. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, being exceedingly young, nevertheless being in large stature, and also having great desires to know of the mysteries of God, wherefore I did cry unto the Lord. And behold, he did visit me, and I did soften my heart, and then I did believe all the words which had been spoken by my father. Wherefore I did not rebel against him like unto my brothers. And I spake unto Sam, making him known to the things which the Lord had manifested unto me by his Holy Spirit. And it came to pass that he believed in my words. But behold, Laman and Lemuel would not hearken unto my words, being grieved because of the hardness of their hearts. I cried unto the Lord for them. And it came to pass that the Lord spake unto me, saying, Blessed art thou, Nephi, because of thy faith, for thou hast sought me diligently with lowliness of heart. Inasmuch as ye shall keep my commandments, ye shall prosper, and ye shall lead to be a land of promise, yea, even a land which I have prepared for you, a land which is choice above all other lands. And inasmuch as thy brethren shall rebel against thee, they shall be cut off from the presence of the Lord. Inasmuch they shall be kept my commandments, thou shalt be made ruler and a teacher over thy brethren. For behold, in that day they shall rebel against me. I will be cursed them even with a sore curse. They shall have no power over thy seed, except they shall rebel against me also. And if it be so that they rebel against me, they shall be a scourge unto thy seed to stir them up in the ways of remembrance. Ooh. Chapter 3. Lehi's sons return to Jerusalem to obtain the plates of brass. Laban refuses to give the plates up. Nephi extorts and encourages his brethren. Laban steals their property and attempts to slay them. Laman and Lemuel smite Nephi and Sam and are reproved by an angel. This is about 600 to 529 BC. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, returned from speaking with the Lord to the tent of my father. And it came to pass that he spake unto me, saying, Behold, I have dreamed a dream, in which the Lord hath commanded me that thou and thy brethren shall return to Jerusalem. For behold, Laban hath a record of the Jews, and also genealogy of my forefathers, and they are engraven upon the plates of brass. Wherefore the Lord hath commanded me that thou and thy brothers should go into the house of Laban, and seek the records, and bring them down hither to the wilderness. And now, behold, thy brothers murmur, saying, It is a hard thing to which I have required of them. But behold, I have not required it of them, but it is a commandment of the Lord. Therefore go, my son, and thou shalt be favored of the Lord, because thou had not murmured. And it has come to pass that I, Nephi, had said unto my father, I will go, and I will do the things which the Lord hath commanded. For I know the Lord hath giveth no commandments unto the children of men, save he shall prepare a way for him, that they may accomplish the thing that we have commanded them. And it came to pass that when my father had heard these words, he was exceedingly glad, for he knew I had been blessed of the Lord. And I, Nephi, and my brethren took our journeys into the wilderness with our tents to go up to the land of Jerusalem. And it came to pass, when we had gone up to the land of Jerusalem, I and my brethren consult with one another. And we cast lots, who of us should go into the house of Laban. And it came to pass that Lot fell upon Laman. And Laman went into the house of Laban, and he talked with him as he sat in his house. And he desired of Laban the records which were engraven upon the plates of brass, which contained the genealogy of my father. And behold, it came to pass that Laban was angry and thrust him out of his presence. He would not that he should have the records. Wherefore he said unto them, Behold, thou art a robber, I will slay thee. But Laman fled out of his presence, and told the things which Laban had done unto us. And we began to be exceedingly sorrowful. And my brethren were about to return unto my father in the wilderness. But behold, I said to thee unto them, As the Lord liveth, and as we live, we will not go down unto our father in the wilderness. We have accomplished these things which the Lord has commanded us. Wherefore let us be faithful in keeping the commandments of the Lord. Therefore, let us go down into the land of our father's inheritance. For behold, he left gold and silver and all manner of riches. All this he had done because of the commandments of the Lord. For he knew that Jerusalem must be destroyed because of the wickedness of the people. For behold, they have rejected the words of the prophets. Wherefore, if my father should dwell in the land he hath commanded to flee out the land, he would also perish. Wherefore, it must needs be that he flee out of the land. And behold, it is in wisdom in God that we should obtain these records, that we may preserve unto our children the language of our fathers, and also that we may preserve unto them the words which we have been spoken, which have been spoken by the mouth of the holy prophets, which have been delivered unto them by the Spirit and power of God, since the world began, even down to this present time. And it came to pass that after this manner of language did I persuade my brethren that they might be faithful in keeping the commandments of God. And it came to pass that we went down into the land of our inheritance, and we did gather together our gold and our silver and our precious things. And after we had gathered these things together, we went up again to the house of Laban. And it came to pass that we went up into Laban and desired him that he would give us these records which were engraven upon the plates of brass, for which we had given them unto our gold and silver and all of our precious things. And it came to pass that when Laban saw our property, and that it was exceedingly great, he did lust after it insomuch that he thrust out and sent his servants to slay us, that he might obtain our property. And it came to pass that we did flee before the servants of Laban, and we were obliged to leave behind our property, and it fell into the hands of Laban. And it came to pass that we fled into the wilderness, and the servants of Laban did not overtake us. We hid ourselves in a cavity of the rock. Chapter 4. Nephi slays Laban. Okay, so we're getting on 22 minutes here. How are we feeling? Just checking in with you. Is this read okay? How are we feeling? Checking in with my family and my loved ones. I love you so much. Okay, I'll probably go for another 10 minutes or so. This book here, it's a good long book. I would say it would be a breeze, but it's a bit comparable to the Bible in the intensity of the read. You really do have to read in spirit, true spirit, to be able to intensify the read. Um, you know, I am running about a little bit tired, but it's okay. My phone battery is on 9%. Once it gets down to about 5, we can charge up and go ahead and release this message, and then we'll go back and revisit. My energy again comes from the will of the Lord, so I really do have good energy. We just have to, be mindful and be heedful. Okay, thank you guys so much. This is chapter 4. Nephi slays Laban at the Lord's command and then secures the plates of brass by stratagem. Zoram chooses to join Lehi's family in the wilderness about 600 to 592 BC. And it came to pass that I spake unto my brethren, saying, Let us go up again to Jerusalem. Let us be faithful in keeping the commandments of the Lord. For behold, he is mightier than all the earth. Then why not mightier than Laban and his 50, yea, even his tens of thousands? Therefore let us go up, let us be strong like unto Moses. For he truly spake unto the waters of the Red Sea, and they divided hither and thither. And our fathers came through out of the captivity on dry ground. And the armies of Pharaoh did follow, and we drowned in the and were drowned in the waters of the Red Sea. Now behold, ye know that this is true, and ye know also that an angel hath spoken unto you. Where therefore can ye doubt? Let us go up. The Lord is able to deliver us, even as our fathers, and to destroy Laban, even as the Egyptians. Now, when I had spoken these words, they were not yet wroth, and I did not continue to murmur. Therefore, they did follow me up until we came without walls of Jerusalem. And it was by night that I caused that, and excuse me, And it was by night, and I caused that they should hide themselves without the walls. And after they had hid themselves, I, Nephi, crept into the city and went forth towards the house of Laban. And I was led by the Spirit, not knowing beforehand these things which I should do. Therefore, nevertheless, I went forth, and I came near the house of Laban. Beheld, he had fallen to the earth before me, for he was drunken with wine. And when I came to him, I found that it was Laban. And I beheld the sword, and I withdrew it forth, the sheath thereof. And the hither was pure gold, and the workmanship was exceedingly fine. And I saw that the blade thereof was the most precious steel. And it came to pass that, constrained by the Spirit, that I should kill Laban. But I said in my heart, never at any time have I shed the blood of a man. And I shrunk, would that I might not slay him. And the Spirit said unto me again, behold, the Lord hath delivered him into my hands. Yeah. And I also knew the things that he had sought to take away mine of my own life. Yeah. And he would not hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, and he also had taken away our property. And it came to pass that the Spirit said unto me again, slay him, for the Lord hath delivered him into the holy hands. Behold, the Lord slayeth the wicked to bring forth his righteous purposes. It is better that one man should perish than that nation to be dwindled and perish in unbelief. Now, when I, Nephi, had heard these words, I remembered the words of the Lord which he spoke to me in the wilderness, saying, inasmuch as thy seed shall keep my commandments, they shall prosper in the land of promise. Yeah, and also thought that day, I could not keep the commandments of the Lord according to the law of Moses, save they should have the law. And I also knew that the law was engraven upon the plates of brass. And again, I knew that the Lord hath delivered Laban into my hands for this cause, that I might maintain the records according to his commandments. Therefore I did obey the voice of the Spirit, and took Laban by the hair of his head, and I smote off his head with his own sword. And after I had smitten off his head with his own sword, I took the garments of Laban, and I put them up in my body, yes, if every width, and gird and armor about my loins. And after I had done this, I went forth to the treasury of Laban. And as I went forth towards the treasury of Laban, I saw the servant of Laban, who had the keys of the treasury. And I commanded him in the voice of Laban that he should go with me into the treasury. And he supposed to me that this master Laban, for he beheld the garments, and also had the sword girded about my loins. And he spake to me concerning the elders of the Jews, and knowing that his master Laban had been out by night among them. And I spake unto him as if it had been Laban. And I also spake unto him that it should carry its engravings which were engraved on the plates of brass to my elder brethren who were without the walls. And I also bade him that he should follow me. And he supposing that I spake the brethren of the church, that I was truly Laban who had been slain, wherefore he did follow me. And he spake unto me many times concerning the elders of the Jews. And I went forth upon my brethren without walls. And it came to pass that when Laman saw me, he was exceedingly frightened. And also Lemuel and Sam, they fled from before my presence, for they supposed it was Laban, and that he had slain me, and sought to take away their lives also. And it came to pass that I called after them, and they did hear me, wherefore they did cease to flee from my presence. And it came to pass, when the servant of Laban beheld my brethren, he began to tremble, and I was about to flee from before me, and return to the city of Jerusalem. And now I, Nephi, being a man in large stature, and also having received much strength from the Lord, therefore I did seize upon the servant of Laban, and had held him that he should not flee. And it came to pass that I spake with him, and that he would hearken unto my words, as the Lord liveth and I liveth, even so that if he would hearken to our words, he would spare his life. And I spake unto him, even with the oath, that he need not fear, that he should be a free man like unto us, if he were to go down into the wilderness with us. And I also spake unto him, saying, surely the Lord hath commanded us to do this thing, that we shall not be diligent, that shall we not be diligent in keeping the commandments of the Lord? Therefore, If thou wilt go down into the wilderness to my father, thou shalt have a place with us. And it came to pass that Zoram did take courage with the words that I spake. Now Zoram was the name of the servant, and he promised that he would go down into the wilderness unto our father. Yes, he made an oath to us that he would tarry with us from that time forth. Now, when we were desirous that he should tarry with us for this cause, that the Jews might not know concerning our flight into the wilderness, lest they should know, pursue us, and destroy us. And it came to pass, when Zoram had made an oath unto us, our fears did cease concerning him. And it came to pass that we took the plates of brass and the servant of Laban, and departed into the wilderness, and journeyed into the tent of our fathers. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, where are we at? We're still at 9%. Okay, chapter 5. I'm not going to make myself any promises, so let me actually let me actually close this one here. Let me upload this, you guys, and I am going to go ahead and read chapter 5 after. God bless you, okay? For real. I will be back, okay? Just stay patient. Thank you.